We just heard the lawyer in the gospel story is willing to love God, all right, but he is not so willing to love his neighbor. He is looking for a way out of his law. So he asked Jesus, "Who is my neighbor?" And Jesus responds by telling him the beautiful parable of the Good Samaritan. So I'm not going to repeat what was read from the Holy Gospel. That's why, dear brothers and sisters, I would like you, when you listen to the reading of the Holy Gospel, please pay attention. Try to be in the church, not only physically. And another thing, when priest or deacon is reading the Holy Gospel, please try to bow your head down like this. Значит, когда Евангелие читается, то полагается голову склонить в знак своего смирения перед Господом, перед Словом Божьим. Тогда будет даже лучше восприниматься, не так будут наши мысли рассеиваться. Склонить голову, даже глаза закрыть и слушать, сконцентрироваться, что читается в Священном Писании. To concentrate. To force yourself to concentrate. Надо себя заставить сконцентрироваться. Так как мы себя заставляем что-либо делать, то нужно себя заставлять и делать хорошие вещи, контролировать себя. Здесь тоже, конечно, нужны усилия, мы с вами это прекрасно знаем. Иначе, otherwise, будет беда. At the end, Jesus Christ asked him, "Which of these three, in your opinion, proved to be a neighbor to the man who fell among the robbers?" Попал в руки разбойникам. And of course the answer was right. The lawyer's young man says, "The man who took pity on the wounded traveler and helped him. He was a true neighbor." Christ then commanded the lawyer to go and act in the same manner. So, okay, it was 2,000 years ago. What he did, it's not that important. Это не важно уже, что он делал, поступал или не поступал. Евангелие сейчас касается нас. So, who is our neighbor at present time? Any person, church teaches us, in need. He may be in bodily want, hungry, thirsty, tired, sick, or he may be in spiritual need, sinful, ignorant, doubtful, sad. In trouble. No matter who the person, friend or foe, no matter what his need of the body or of the soul, we are to love him and help him. Of course, it is not easy to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. It is not simple to love God with all your heart and soul and mind and strength, like Holy Gospel Jesus teaches us. But this is the task that Christ sets for the Christian, St. Paul, in the epistle lesson of the day today, reminds us of this task. To jest projektu nasza обязанность. He says, I beg of you to lead a life worthy of the calling to which you have been called. Значит, мы призваны к тому, чтобы жить жизнью, которой нас Господь призывает. We all, dear brothers and sisters, have a vocation, a calling from Christ, то есть призвание, to live in a special way, the Christian way. This is precisely what our religion is, a way of life. This way is supposed to be different from the way others, non-Christian, live. One of the great tragedies of our day, and we talked about this many times, is that Christians, so us, live pretty much the same way as any other people. And you know what? Nobody, church, does not forbid us to live like other people, to have a nice vehicle, to have a nice house, to go for holidays, to dress nicely, beautiful. No. Even righteous people in the Old Testament, before Jesus Christ and after, they were rich people. But God was in the first place. And then the wealth, богатство, wealth goes after. Вот в чем секрет большой. Как будто мы не знаем об этом. Конечно, знаем. You tell a Christian today, not by the way he lives, the things he says and does and feels, but by the cross he has around the neck. If people consider that we are Christians just looking at us and make the decision that we are Christians because we have a cross, and this is the only to see that we are good Christians. So this is tragedy. This is already bad. People have to judge us how we live, what we say, what we do. It was Jesus Christ who said, by this shall all men, people, know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another. So this is the main of God's the main teaching of Jesus Christ about love, because God is love himself. Love of God and love of man, this is a trademark of the Christian faith. This is the way to life. What kind of life? Full, meaningful, lifeful, meaningful, happy, radiant, joyful life here on earth, as well as glorious, never-ending, beautiful life with God hereafter. Thank you.